Nutritional tip number 3 in the 12-week fat loss program. Plan ahead and prepare food in advance. Now, I know from personal experience and also from watching some of my clients that it isn't necessarily the fact that you don't know what to eat, that you're unaware of what proteins, carbs, fats are, and that you don't know that eating too much cake or ice cream or drinking too much alcohol is really going to kick your ass and stall your weight loss. It's not a lack of information. It's not the knowing part, it's the doing part. And so what I found that really seems to be a bottleneck and a stumbling block on people trying to eat healthy whole foods from nutritious healthy sources is the preparation factor. So finding the time to prep in advance for the meals that you have throughout the course of the week is probably one of the hardest things to do, and I really struggle with this myself, and so much so that I outsourced it recently to a food preparation company so that I just didn't have to bother. I didn't have to bother preparing it, and two, I didn't even have to think about what I was going to eat. So it was just, I had too much going on, and I didn't even want the decision to have to make a decision about what I was going to eat on that particular day. It was just too much. So I completely understand how difficult it can be for some people to get ahead and prepare their food in advance. But it is one of the surest ways that you will stick to an eating program consistently. One, that you have access to good food, and two, that is ready for you to eat. Because there's nothing so soul destroying after working a really long day. And believe me, if you work long hours, I can understand where you're coming from. The last thing you want to do when you get home is to chop veg and prepare a healthy meal and make sure that you've got all of your macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, and fats. All you want to do is have your food and get to bed before you eat into your sleeping time before you got to get up and go to work again. Okay, I might be over exaggerating it. It might not actually be that bad for you, but I can see how difficult it can be. So having some strategies in place, and only you can really decide what strategies they are that will work for you. And some of these strategies could be preparing your meals on a Sunday, getting your protein cooked off, big stir fry, and creating batches. So having one person portion size tubs that you can put all of your batch cooking into, and then either freeze it or put it in the fridge ready to eat as you consume as you go through the week. Whatever the strategies are, only you can really decide what's going to work for you. But having some of these strategies in place is really, really going to help. And yes, you can have your takeaways or your days off or the days where you don't want to do this. But if you have the majority of the days of the week covered in this fashion, then you're really, really going to stay a step ahead of the curve insofar as getting your hands on healthy food and making sure that you do it consistently. Because it's not so much being good for one day out of the week and the other 6 days are complete crap. It's the consistency at which you manage to do this that will determine the success that you have in your weight loss over the course of this 12 weeks. Okay, I will go into some more strategies on how you can actually prep food and stay ahead, and because obviously preparing a salad on a Sunday night by Friday, who wants to eat that? I know I don't. So there are some smarter ways to go about how you prep your food and get ahead of things. So again, hope this helps, and we'll be moving on to the new habits, which is tip number 4, which will be the next tip that I will discuss: eating a wide range of food as possible.